Hello and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. Welcome to the show. It's Thursday, the 16th of June. We are past halfway through June. Unbelievable. Today we are going to dive into this essential question, especially for brand new voice artists. Is ACX still a viable platform to get work from? And should you be on ACX? So we're going to talk about ACX audiobooks. Should you be using that platform today on the show? Real quick, before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and hit the notification bell just so that you will make sure you get notified when I put out a video or I go live. All right, so let's talk about ACX. When I first started in voiceover 5-6 years ago, I started on ACX. And ACX stands for the Audiobook Creation Exchange. And ACX is owned by Audible, and Audible is owned by Amazon, okay? Along with KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, which is the book side, the written side of it. So ACX is a platform that, that promotes for independent publishers and independent authors can take their books, put it on there to be narrated, and they connect the two, and you can publish it independently through Amazon. Okay, so in previous years, especially when I started it, and to this day, it is a great place to begin because you do not need a lot to start. I mean, you don't need a massive portfolio of work. You don't need a really, really professional sounding demo. I mean, do you want those things? Absolutely, of course. But we're talking about just getting started here. And ACX is a great place because you are primarily getting all your work through auditioning for the books that are put up to audition for. So that's a really good reason why ACX is a great place to cut your teeth on as a beginner. But there are some things to consider about ACX too that it's important to mention. So one of those is that as time has marched on through ACX, that platform has really struggled with dealing with scams, dealing with people who are claiming they own the rights to a book and they don't. That happens a lot. And a lot of times that goes through royalty share. And it's really become, I'll be honest with you, it's become a lot harder and dangerous sometimes for, I think the narrator to go out and do a bunch of work. And then ACX will catch. Sometimes they don't even catch it until the end after you've done all the work or halfway through. And they catch that the person who hired you doesn't even have the rights to the book, and they cancel everything, and you lose all of your work, everything that you've done. And that's really disturbing, right? I mean, it is not okay. So I think that is a very big issue that ACX is having. And for whatever reason, they've not seemingly addressed it, I think, as much as they could have. On the other hand, there is still a lot of opportunities on ACX. And, because you still can get royalty share books, but you also can be paid per finished hour. Now, I wouldn't say that ACX is the place that you're going to get the best paid per finished hour books. I think probably the average there is going to be between 50 to 150. Are there more? Of course, there's higher paying books. But, as you go up the ladder to the higher paying books, there's going to be so much more competition. And a lot of times, those I found that, there's just not as many of them. Right? Clearly, there's going to be a lot more on the lower end. And again, I'm not saying you start there, but it is a great place to try out voiceover. Okay? Use a pseudonym. That's always a good way to protect yourself from, as you get better. It's a couple different ways. As you get better, you'll protect yourself from those past things that you've done. And also, as you grow, it will allow you to do different genres and different things too, using different names. There's many very famous audiobook narrators who have multiple different pseudonyms. One that they use for religion, and one that they use for fiction, and one they use for nonfiction, and different things like that. So you can use more than one. And you don't, by the way, on a side note, you don't have to set up a separate account on ACX to use different names. You'll just have one account, and at the end of right before you publish you publish your audiobook with ACX, they'll ask, hey, what name do you want to go under the narrator? And you could put the pseudonym that you want to use. Just make sure that you use the pseudonym in your opening and closing credits as you narrate those as well, because they need to be the same. So anyways, but you'll still be paid through your regular name and your account, but you can use the pseudonym. So I really do believe that ACX still is one of the best places to start, because it gives you an opportunity to practice and possibly make a little bit of money. You're not going to make a living from ACX, okay? But you definitely can make a little bit of money and practice and, start to really learn that part of the industry, because for better or for worse, ACX plays such a vital role because, right, it's Audible and Amazon, and there's just so much there that goes through that platform, clearly. So it's a place to be a part of and to get work on, especially starting out. Now, places like LibriVox, that's great too. That's free work that you do, for libraries and things like that, and you can do work there. And there's nothing wrong. That's a great place to go to and do audiobook work. I always kind of was like, personally, I was like, well, I'd rather if I'm going to practice or something, I'd rather go get paid for it. However, you will find that on LibriVox, there's there's sometimes better quality books that you can do, right? As opposed to sometimes, if you're cutting your teeth at ACX, there might be some pretty junky books that, and when I say junky, I mean, books that are not the best well written, or, most interesting books that you're doing as you're coming up the ladder, right? I mean, just remember, one book, I mean, if you have a career as an audiobook narrator, you're going to do thousands and thousands and thousands of audiobooks over your career. Okay. So, so one book, every book you do is vitally important, but you've got to consider that you're going to be starting off doing what you can get. All right. So listen, again, thank you so much for watching. I want to close by saying I think ACX still is such a viable place for you to go as a beginner, but you've got to be careful. And I hate to say it, but I would steer away from royalty share. That's not what I used to say. And I'm not saying you shouldn't try it out, but just make sure you really do your due diligence with the author, with the people who are promote or trying to hire you, so that for certain that they own the rights. I've even gone as far as started to email support and say, hey, just want to double check and make sure this book or this this is correct. And sometimes I'll get responses back, say, hey, no, this is a known scam, which is blows my mind that they know this stuff and they're still not doing anything about it. But I don't have anything to do with their management or ownership. So anyways, just be careful, watch yourself. But here's one more tip I want to give you. When you're doing audiobooks, whether it's especially, whether there's an account that they can put money into or something, or make sure you always get at least half payment up front. Okay, I see a lot of people wait till the end, okay, like many services, and I've seen a lot more people getting burned. Like someone say, well, I just don't like it, and then they don't pay you anything. And you've worked so many hours. I mean, one thing about audiobooks is it takes a long time. So, make sure that you at least, and I always do half up front, half upon delivery. And if someone can't pay you that, then they probably don't have the money, or it might not be someone you want to go into work with. Now, I'm not saying if you do it somewhere a different way, that's wrong. I'm not saying that at all. I've just given you my opinion about what I've done, and try to promote, or help, people who are just coming into the business, because I've worked with so many people who have gotten burned. And I don't mean like they come to you and be like, hey, we want some revisions. And you're like, no. I mean like they'll come and be, they'll ghost you. They won't respond to you. They won't, you've done all this work and then you're just out of any money because, you didn't make sure you got that half up front, half upon delivery. So again, make sure you, and also on ACX, through the platform, if it's not royalty share, the money doesn't go through the platform. You have to get the money from the author or the rights holder outside of the platform, like through your PayPal account or a Zelle or whatever you use, Venmo, to get the money. And then, you tell ACX by clicking a button on the site that you've received money. So, ACX is a lot more manual, than automatic. So anyways, I hope this video helped. If you'd like some more videos on ACX or audiobooks as we go forward, just let me know in the comments. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, hit that like and subscribe, and you have a wonderful Thursday. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.